Hello and welcome to step-by-step macro writing guide for World of Warcraft. In this guide we will go over fundamentals of writing a macro, starting from the simple commands and building it up to more complicated ones. Timestamps for the video and the links to all possible commands and modifiers can be found in the video description down below. First thing first, macros menu can be found when you click escape button or can be called up by typing /macro to chat and clicking enter. To write a macro, just click new, choose an icon and name it as you please. One thing that is extremely useful here is choosing the question mark icon from the top left and starting your first line of macro with #show tooltip. This way, your macro button will automatically show you the icon and the current status of whatever it is about to cast. If you prefer that your macro icon doesn't change and show you always the same ability, just add the name of the ability after writing #show tooltip. Now to our first commands /cast or /use. You can simply write /cast or /use, leave one space, write any on-use ability you have in your spellbook, and clicking that macro will cast that ability. You can also shift-click on the spell icon from your spellbook to write it into the macro. Just remember that if the ability has several ranks, ability name without a rank will make macro cast the last rank of the spell. While /cast command works only for your abilities in your spellbook, /use command works both for your spells and items. Writing /use heavy rune cloth bandage will make that macro use the bandage. Or writing /use devil's eye in this character's case will make the macro activate the trinket. Second level of commands are the ones that saves you from mouse clicking or make it sure that you actually start or stop attacking a target. These are commands like /cancelaura, startattack, petattack, stopattack, or stopcasting. Writing /cancelaura and the name of the buff will make you cancel it from your character. For instance, my character now has the mount Stonefire Battle Charger and the buff Aspect of the Hawk on it. If I write a cancel macro, such as /cancelaura Stonefire Battle Charger, enter /cancelaura Aspect of the Hawk, and click on it, it will remove both of them. Start attack, stop attack, pet attack, pet passive or similar commands will make sure that my character or pet starts or stop attacking the target, and also removing the need of clicking buttons manually. What makes these even more important, however, is using them with combination of /cast or /use commands. When I write a macro that goes /startattack /cast raptor strike, clicking it will make sure I start the attack regardless if I am able to use the raptor strike. This is extra important for classes like Warrior, who may not already have enough rage to use the ability, but starting attack will start generating it. Next one on the list is the best friend of mages everywhere, stopcasting command. Obvious by its name, stopcasting command will make sure your character stops whatever it is casting. The real benefit of it comes when it is used before or after another ability. Let's say I start casting an aim shot, but change my mind and now rather I want to cast a concussive shot. Without a macro, unless I cancel my aim shot cast by moving or hitting the escape button, concussive shot spell will be used after aim shot cast is over. But if I use stopcasting, stopcast concussive shot macro like this one, it will interrupt the aim shot cast and use concussive shot immediately. A small tip for hunters out there, stopcasting can also be used by hunters if they want to cast an offensive ability on target but don't want to start auto-shot. Just use it after the ability you want to cast and spam it during the global cooldown. Now that we know how to cast or stop casting an ability, here comes the conditionals. Conditionals are used to tell macros to complete a certain action only if the condition you want is met. There are many conditionals, such as combat, which will check if you are in combat, help, which will check if you can cast helpful spells on the target. Best way to understand how they work is to see them in the action. So let's start with the combat conditional with startattack command. First, we try startattack command without any condition. We click on it and the character starts to attack, verified by the animation. Now let's try the combat conditional after startattack command. As you see, when I click the macro, nothing happens, because we told the macro to start attack only if he is in the combat. Now let's close these walls so we get in the combat and click the macro again. As you see, as the condition of being in combat is met, we indeed started to attack. Building up on this logic, we can tell macro to tell different actions when different conditions are met. Let's say we want one button that when we are in combat uses a bandage, but if we are not in combat just eats a plantain. So we can write something like #show tooltip /use combat heavy rune cloth bandage semicolon no combat deep fried plantains. As you can see, when I'm out of combat it will just eat a plantain, but as soon as I get in combat it will change to use bandages. One more thing to note here is actually we don't really need to write the second conditional no combat here, because the way macros work, a semicolon without a conditional afterwards means basically or else, as in any other condition, do this. This comes much more meaningful when you use it with conditionals that has many versions. A great example of this is the mod conditional, which can be used as mod alt, mod shift and mod control. What mod conditional by itself means is take this action if I am holding down the following button on the keyboard. So when we write something like #show tooltip /cast mod shift aspect of the hawk mod alt aspect of the cheetah semicolon aspect of the monkey, when I'm holding down the shift button it will cast aspect of the hawk. When I'm holding down the alt button it will cast aspect of the cheetah. In any other condition, such as holding down control or not holding down anything, it will cast aspect of the monkey. Now let's see a macro that combines some of the things we learned until now. A hunter's freezing trap macro. First line of the macro tells us that whatever happens, the macro will show the tooltip of the freezing trap. It won't change to show anything else. Second line tells us if we are in combat, it will stop us from attacking the enemy. Third line says, again, if we are in combat, pet will be set to follow. The fourth line says, if we are in combat, use feign that, or else use freezing trap. Now let's see the macro in action. If I am not in combat, this macro should only use freezing trap ability and do nothing else. So let's put the pet here and take 5 steps away and click the macro. You see, it didn't call the pet and it just dropped the freezing trap. Let's try it again, but this time we will be in combat and attacking. And we click. As you see, it made pet to follow, stop attack and feign that. As I clicked it again, after leaving the combat, it used the freezing trap. Mission accomplished. Before going to the last part, which is about cast sequence macros, just know that there are a lot of commands and conditionals and all of them have their own uses. Some of them will make you equip an item, others will check if you're outside or inside before casting an ability. Let's take a complicated looking one and see what it actually says. Here is an example of a flash heal macro for priest class. First it says, check if my mouse is hovering over a target, if I can cast helpful spells on that target, and that target is alive. If all are true, cast flash heal on that target. If that doesn't work, check if I can cast helpful spells on my current target, and if it is alive, then cast Flash Heal on it. And the last part, if that also doesn't work, just cast Flash Heal on me. Last in our list for this video is the castsequence command. In its basic form, this command enables you to cast several abilities in order by pushing just one button. So if we are to create a macro that goes /castsequence aim shot, multi-shot, serpent sting, when I click the macro first time, it will try to cast an aim shot until it's successfully cast. Then the second click will cast the second ability in line, multi-shot. It will go on like this until the end of the line, then repeats from the start. One of the great things about castsequence command is that it can be used with a reset modifier, meaning you don't have to wait till every ability in the sequence is cast to start over. For instance, with this modifier, the macro will reset to beginning if you click it holding down the shift button. Several reset modifiers can be used together too. If we were to write something like /castsequence reset equals to 9/shift/target hunter's mark aim shot, this will reset the macro after 9 seconds, but also if you are holding down the shift button or whenever you change your target. And this concludes our step-by-step macro guide. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to write them down in the comment section and I will try to answer them best I can. I am Viaroka and have a nice one.